and welcome to tonight's regional news. We now begin with a story from Cuba. The French organization Cuba Linda has recommended awarding the Nobel Peace Prize to Cuban medical brigades for their efforts to eradicate COVID-19. After highlighting the great work of Cuban doctors in saving lives in different parts of Africa, Asia, and Latin America, the human rights organization stressed that the press cannot hide this solidarity that causes surprise to many in Europe. The largest island in the Antilles has so far sent 21 brigades of health professionals to assist 20 countries in the world in their fight to eradicate the pandemic. Cuba has successfully used the drug interferon alpha-2b produced on the island to treat the symptoms of the virus, and 15 countries have requested to purchase this drug. And now for some good news from St. Lucia. St. Lucia's last COVID-19 patient has recovered and was discharged from the hospital, the Ministry of Health and Wellness reported in a news release on Wednesday, May 13. This means that all 18 confirmed cases have fully recovered, according to the country's health ministry. This is the second time that St. Lucia has reached zero COVID-19 cases. The Ministry of Health further revealed Wednesday that 52 tests recently received turned out to be negative. The ministry said these samples are mainly captured through the Community Respiratory Clinic. And now for some startling news from Jamaica. Jamaican health authorities are bracing for a spike in the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases locally following Wednesday's arrival of more than 200 stranded Jamaicans from the United States and Canada at the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston. The U.S. has the largest coronavirus outbreak globally, with 1.37 million infections and more than 82,000 deaths, according to data from Johns Hopkins University. The Jamaicans arrived from Canada, Florida, and New York, the epicenter of the outbreak in the U.S., with more than 300,000 infections and close to 22,000 deaths. A government source said that authorities are expecting a sharp increase in the number, though the arriving passengers will be quarantined at the St. Anne Hotel for a minimum of 14 days. They will be tested for COVID-19 and will be subjected to daily temperature checks, the source said. Jamaica has now recorded 509 COVID-19 cases. Several Jamaica Defense Force members were among the group of 20 who arrived from Canada. The army men who were in the country for training under the Military Training and Cooperation Program became stranded after the country's borders were ordered closed on March 24. The JetBlue flight, which came in from Florida, landed about 10 a.m. with 94 Jamaicans on board. A second JetBlue flight carrying more than 90 passengers from New York landed at 11:45 a.m. The WestJet flight from Canada arrived sometime after 1 p.m. And finally, some news from Antigua and Barbuda. The United States government has contributed $15,000 to support the efforts of agencies in the front lines against the coronavirus. The funds were donated to the National Office of Disaster Services, which contracted 11 tailors and seamstresses, both in Antigua and the Sistine Isles of Barbuda, to make approximately 5,000 masks. The masks will be distributed to the prison, police and fire departments, the Office of National Drug and Money Laundering Control Policy, the Immigration Department, the Antigua and Barbuda Defense Force, and not. That was all for tonight's regional news. Thank you for joining. Goodbye.